Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host Josh Chapman, and today we're doing a quick little emergency. There's an emergency going on episode that was kind of built out of someone else's emergency, actually. Before we go any further, let's welcome our correspondent who always comes in and helps out when we have emergencies from That Geek Pod, Kneen. How you going, Catherine?
It's a full-on day. It's been a lot. There's been a lot.
It has been a lot. It has been a full-on day. We were just saying that we both logged on to get involved in Steele's call-in show because obviously it's all about the D23s, and he was having some technical hiccups, and looks like it's been postponed for a while. So I just said to Catherine, "Oh well, you know, we'll." Someone else's misfortune is someone else's opportunity, and we'll quickly jump on and we'll have a quick chat about all the stuff that just went down at D23. So, still coming down, are we?
Yeah, so it was a very long Twitter timeline to get through this morning when I woke up. It took me a few hours. And I've been a bit overwhelmed. And then I was in the supermarket actually, and then I got a DM from our friend Brittany Brown with a couple of photos from the panel with a couple of men. One called Diego.
You dropped your eggs and you dropped your orange juice and
I couldn't quite explain why I was basically sobbing in a corner.
Well, I kept seeing on Twitter the night before that it was all going to happen sort of like overnight in Australia. Like it was all going to be like 3 a.m. Australian time, and like by the time we woke up, everything would have gone down by now. So I was a bit surprised. I sort of woke up and I was looking I looked at Facebook and I looked at a couple of things. I'm like, that's weird. There's no Mandalorian trailer. There's no news. Like, what's going on? That's strange. And then, like, similar to you, I got through the timeline. I'm like, they're still just not even in the room yet. They're all just they're all out in the foyer looking at the costumes and stuff. So that's a bit weird.
Yeah, so it sort of happened slowly, and they had the Lady and the Tramp and High School Musical, the series, or whatever that is, and a few things before they got into the Star Wars of it all.
But even that panel starting, I must have got my times mixed up because I could have swore people were saying, "Oh, it's going to be 3 a.m." and I'd been out last night at the football, and then I was going to stay up and watch the cricket, and I thought, maybe I could stay up and watch the cricket, and then flick over and follow that because I wasn't sure if there was a live stream or anything. But wisely, I just went to bed and dealt with it in the morning. But yeah, there was a bit of Lady in the Tramp. There's a bit of Marvel stuff. I've kind of completely forgotten about the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, like Miss Marvel. I remember that much.
She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk. Yeah, I better save it for my own.
Yeah, that's right.
Podcast.
Save back. Yeah, so we'll save the geek stuff for That Geek Pod, the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they finally shuffled Kevin Feige off the stage, and Kathy Kennedy strode out into the middle and proceeded to drop a few bombs.
Yeah, so what order was it? Was it Cassian first or Mandalorian?
I think it was Cassian first. It's a bit weird. She kind of brought up the timeline thing first, and then I don't know because I haven't watched. There's no live stream, so I'm kind of going off the Twitter feed. So it's a bit trickier.
Yeah.
We luckily had a few friends in the room, like you said, Brittany, and I think a couple other people were in. I think Dom from Star Wars Underworld was in there, and I think maybe even Paul Ponte was in there as well too. So there was a few friendlies in there. But yeah, it seemed like it was Mandalorian first. So they did the thing that they didn't do at Celebration, Catherine, and Diego came out. He's sporting quite a short haircut there. What was all right on that? You approve?
Totally approved. Militaristic haircut, maybe?
Yeah, could be. So a couple of things that we learned from it was it doesn't have a title. It's not called Cassian. Well, at least it still could be.
It probably will be. It probably will be. Let's face it. The titles haven't been the most inventive, and why make up something? But if they're going to have a lot of characters who are not Cassian, then it might make sense to call it something else, like, I don't know, Rise of the Rebellion, or
Rebel Scum.
ooh, that,
That's not bad, actually. Oh,
yeah.
I should register that domain quickly before I get some t-shirts printed. Yeah. So that was cool. Alan Tudyk and Diego Luna came out. So they said that it's filming in London next year. So of course, I don't live in London anymore, but of course they're filming another Star Wars thing in London when I'm not there. So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was exciting, and they said it's all sort of raring to go. Did they say anything about episodes, or can you remember? Was it number of episodes?
Honestly, no, I can't remember seeing anything of that. Just that the scripts are ready, they're going to start filming. And yeah, placing it on the timeline. What was it, about 5 years before Battle of Yavin, or
Oh,
four,
I
something
didn't
like
even
that?
catch that. I didn't even catch that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that completely. We've talked every time we talked about Cassian. I think the last time we did the preview spectacular, we were talking about like, oh, they're going to wipe that comic, that talks about how K2SO and Cassian met, because I think that happens just before Rogue One. So clearly they're just going to wipe that now, not worry about that.
Yeah, I reckon they'll wipe that. We also speculated that we might see a bit, you know, when Cassian starts, when he starts that fight when he's 6 years old, and they still could. I mean, they've placed it on the timeline. That doesn't mean they can't have little flashbacks and time jumps type of things.
Yeah, yeah. So that was exciting. They all look pretty pumped. So, so obviously filming in London next year, depending when they kick off, means that we're almost definitely going to see something at Celebration Anaheim in August. So, if they get cracking on it towards at the start of next year. So book your. Get in the. Catherine's like, I wish I could just get in the lottery now. I have to find
Yeah.
to get into that panel. Yeah.
Are you prepared, Josh? Are you prepared for me in that panel?
Well, we're going to get in first. I guess that's the first thing. So I think, honestly, we've spoken about this before, that if for some reason you can't get into that panel and someone else does, I'm sure there'll be a few accommodating friends who'll make sure that you get to be in that room one way or another.
Yeah.
So no, exciting.
Yeah.
It was good to have it. It was good to have it spoken about, really, wasn't it? It kind of got in a really official kind of way. Like, I know it's sort of Alan Tudyk spoke about it a little bit at Celebration. It's been in press releases, but it was good to sort of have the head honcho KK up there and the stars all locking it down.
Yeah, it felt far more official. Yes, this is really happening. It hasn't been cancelled or anything like that. Yes, we're starting it, and Diego backing.
All right. We're going to move on. We're going to be here all day otherwise with Diego Cast on Catherine's other podcast. So then they moved on to Mandalorian, and they brought out Favreau, and they brought out was it just Favreau? I can't remember. Oh, it was Taika Waititi was there. They brought out some of the stars, didn't they? I think Pedro Pascal was there, and and they said that the lady from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has joined the cast as well too.
Yeah, Ming Na. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Now, no real other details about it. I did, and looking at the trailer, I didn't see her pop up. At least looking like her. She could be, under makeup, or she could be CG, or she could be anything. But no. So they announced that Mandalorian. They showed some footage. I saw you tweet somewhere that they said 1 episode a week.
Yes. Jon Favreau said in an interview, I think with Ash, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that Jon Favreau said 1 episode a week, which is brilliant. This is exactly what I think we all wanted. So we have the 1 week to enjoy and talk about it in between. This is what we wanted.
And now for us Australians were lucky enough this week to find out that we're actually getting Disney Plus, and we're getting it a week after everyone else, which is, it'd be nice to get it the same day, but at the same time, a week's not that long to wait, really, considering there was a chance we might not get anything.
Considering what we were thinking was going to happen, like a week is nothing. A week is nothing. Disney has my money.
Did you see that thing of like you could get subscribed to Disney Plus now at the did you see that tweet? There was like apparently there was a few booths where if you wanted to go subscribe to Disney Plus now, you could go do it. And there was like a queue of like 300 people queuing up to. It's like you don't get to watch it now. You got to wait like everybody else. It's not going to make it. It's not like you get it a month before everybody else. It just seems so like buying a thing that you would just get on the same day as everybody else. And I think it was like you had to sign up for like 2 years or commit for 2 years or something. Maybe you get a badge or a sticker or something.
And did the D23 people get a slight discount or something? Or
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the details. It just seemed very
yeah.
strange. But yeah, so
Look,
we
I'd
get
sign up. I'd
would
sign
you
up
would you have
right
been in
now.
that queue? You're like, I'll do it.
Yes. Yes. You know me. I'm like anxiously waiting for when I can buy those plane tickets for literally a year away. I mean, I've already harassed the travel agent. So yes, I'd be signing up so I know for certain I could have it on that release day.
All right. Well, there you go. I shouldn't have made fun of those people because, I'm talking to one of them right now. So yeah, look, great for us that we get Mandalorian. We get it a week later. So we'll find a way to watch the first premiere. I think we've already talked about having a little screening party with some of the local friends, Star Wars friends, and we'll try and do something. So that's really, really cool. And then they showed the trailer. So my first impression, it was funny because my first impression of the trailer was, I felt like probably 30% of it we saw at Celebration, maybe 40% of it felt like shots we saw at Celebration, just from my memory.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think because I haven't rewatched like the bootleg footage from Celebration.
Yep.
So there's the bit of the IG-88 looking droid spinning around.
Yep.
That was burnt into my memory from Celebration. Otherwise, I couldn't really remember a lot of other shots that we saw.
Yeah, the standoff stuff in that room where they're kind of fighting, that was in there. The Carl Weathers giving him the disc with the job on it, I think that was in there. I don't know. There was a couple of. I just watched Alex from Star Wars Explains breakdown, and he was kind of going, "Oh, I thought that the footage was a bit lacking at Celebration. I thought it looked a bit unfinished, but I didn't seem to remember it looking unfinished." But Alex got a very trained eye for these things, so he might have been seeing things. Or maybe we're just getting caught up with it and just like, "Oh, it all looks amazing." But look, it certainly looks very impressive. It doesn't look. It just looks like you're watching a nice long Star Wars movie.
It looks amazing. So I didn't watch it on my phone or iPad. I threw it up onto the TV and it just was brilliant. Oh, on your TV.
I know.
That'd be awesome.
I might have to go do that. Now, when we log off here, I might have to just get the kids to get out of the room and I'll just crank it up on the big 75-inch telly. But yeah, look, it was great. It's great that it's officially out there. People are excited. It's going to be a great jumping off point, and week to week we're only going to be a little bit behind. So people look pretty excited about all of that. And then after that was the worst kept secret in Star Wars.
Well, was it a secret or was it the most speculated thing that happens? Because we've been speculating about it for years.
Speculating, but I mean, like a week ago, obviously all the big trades and stuff were saying that this Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor thing. In case you don't know what we're talking about, Ewan McGregor's coming back to play Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus. Catherine, did you know that?
Whee!
So I don't know. It's amazing. It's great, but I think they're probably just like, oh man, it would have been so nice if he could have just strolled onto that stage and nobody would have known that it'd been locked in. Like, it would have been still awesome. I think Brittany tweeted that she'd lost her mind in the room and stuff. But, it's a bummer because normally they're very good at keeping secrets on this stuff. And for whatever reason, the confirmation it was definitely happening just eked its way out.
It was sort of confirmation, but this was confirmation. This was an absolute yes, it is happening. No rumor about it. It's happening.
Yep. Yeah. And Ewan looked very happy to be there, and making a few little jokes about it. How he's always getting harassed about when is he going to do it. And I certainly, when we had Ewan McGregor on our show last week and things, he definitely felt the same way, even though he lied to me about all that. But we won't be having him back on again. But maybe some people thought it was funny. I don't know.
Yeah, it was good.
So that's cool. So they said that it's going to be set 8 years after Revenge of the Sith. So I'd put a little poll up during the week about like if it was going to happen, would it be 1 to 5 years, 5 to 10, 15, 20. So 8 feels about right, age appropriate, sort of.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Ewan McGregor's aging probably half as fast as all of us. So that's, I mean, Revenge of the Sith is about 15 years ago, so he's aging half the time. So that that seems
yeah,
about right.
yeah.
So I don't know how that works. I mean, there's rumors they're talking sort of Darth Maul and things, and I was trying to figure out like where would Darth Maul be in that timeline. I don't know. Catherine's shaking her head. She's not interested
No,
in any more Darth Maul, but we'll see. We'll see.
no, no to Darth Maul. No to Darth Maul.
But obviously, having an 8-year-old Luke Skywalker is a possibility. Running around the background.
Yeah, and maybe visiting Owen and Baru.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, hopefully we see Joel Edgerton and is it Bonnie Pice? Bonnie Pice, who played Aunt Beru,
yeah.
who's Australian. So hopefully her phone is currently running hot.
Yeah, hopefully their notifications are just being lit up.
Blowing up. But well, at the same time, hopefully that's not the first time she's heard about it. If the scripts have been written, because they said that they have been written, that if Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen are in it, that they would actually know about it before everybody else. Maybe she leaked it. Maybe she's the one that leaked the whole thing. She got so excited to get the call, but we never know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really excited about it because it'll be interesting. I'm really excited about it in this sort of mini series or this TV form that we get this long story. And I think that's what we want, that we want this sort of long story of this hermit living in the desert, making amends, maybe
Yeah.
encountering Jabba the Hutt's goons.
Well, I don't think he needs to be. I mean, there was sort of speculation, a lot of speculation this week when it looked like it was happening that, does he have to go off world? Can you sustain a story with him just in the desert? I'm like, yeah, definitely. Surely he can. There should be stacks for him to do in those deserts, protecting and doing things and getting into scrapes and stuff. So, I hope that it's not a one-off. I hope it's really successful and they bring him back. They've certainly given themselves enough time that, if it's good and Ewan wants to come back and do it again, that they can pick up the story, 5 years after or a year after or whatever. If the money's green, Catherine, these things can happen.
Yeah.
So big stuff, really exciting. Now, I'll just very quickly touch on Rise of Skywalker. Obviously, the movie stuff is tomorrow. I don't know whether we'll do another rep for the movie stuff. It'll completely just depend on if Steele's chat thing goes down again or this time. It just happened to be a happy little window that we could do this now. But there was a tiny little snippets of footage they sort of had on some preview stuff. Did you see any of the screenshots from that? There was sort of the group in the Falcon and...
Yeah, and Kylo Ren or Ben in a white room and then opening like a drawer or something
Yeah,
and
what
there
was
being
that?
a mask.
I couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, is it a door opening? It looked like it was almost like a picture frame. I made a joke about like, is that because it looked like an iPad, and it was like a picture. Like it was framed really weird. So, yeah, I wasn't quite sure what that was. It was obviously a burnt Vader mask, but it looked slightly. It looked like it was smoldering though, didn't it? It was.
Yes,
Maybe
it was weird.
Maybe he's starting to lose his marbles or something. Poor Ben.
Mm.
But very fascinating. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more tomorrow when they do the movies panel. But it was cool just to see anything, any little tiny little Rise of Skywalker bits like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, like just was I think there was 4 grabs that I saw.
Yeah. And I think
Yes.
apparently that room they weren't supposed to have phones in. So I saw a couple of things being pulled down or being told to be pulled things down early on in the Twitter thing, but you can't stop the machine you can't stop the signal.
No, and I'm glad that people have put things up because otherwise how are we all going to get excited? And I think like Disney's got to pump us up. They've got to pump us up.
I think we're pretty suitably pumped. So, thanks for jumping on, Catherine. We'll just leave it there. This is just a quick little bonus that we thought we'd do. Like we said, we had a little window to do it, and everything's kind of just died down. And we'll pump this out into the world, and we'll see. We'll see what the shake-up is with Rise of Skywalker tomorrow, we might just jump on again and do a little something for the people.
Yeah.
If not, we'll have our regular scheduled programming next week. Anything else you want to plug away before we let you go? You've been pumping out the content hardcore on That Geek Pod.
I've been trying. So our last one was about Dark Crystal, which has been going well. But because there's a new Dark Crystal prequel series coming out in close to a week, a little bit
Nightmare
less.
fuel.
I tell you what, I went back and watched that movie. It is terrifying. It is terrifying.
Are you terrified enough but intrigued enough to go back and watch the new series though?
I am, but I don't think I can do the binge. It would just be too full on.
The binge midnight screening.
Nope.
Yeah, I've listened to that episode. It's great. So everybody go check out That Geek Pod. You're really churning out some good stuff. And thanks to everybody who's bought our new Salacious Crumb mashup tea, courtesy of I think Claire Stribling's promotion. She got very excited about it. It was made just to really because she requested it, or I sort of suggested it, and she thought that would be great. So we just did it for a bit of fun, and now stacks of people have bought it. It's easily our most highest selling T-shirt. So
Wow.
for some reason, I don't know, lots of Cubs fans out there. So I think the Force Toast girls got involved as well. They're Chicago girls, and a couple of other people as well. So yeah, sold a bunch of them. So keep that up. That's great. And thanks a lot, Catherine. I might speak.
Thanks, Josh.
We might speak tomorrow, or we'll catch up on the pod, when it happens.
Yeah, soon. I might have to hit you up to talk things other than Star Wars.
Always up for that. All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you later.
Bye.